is me. It is Parkourdude91. Welcome to my complete autobiography, my complete story. This is basically an unabridged autobiography of my entire internet life. From the start of day one, this will chronicle everything that has happened, and online. I am doing this to celebrate my 2-year anniversary. And I'm so glad to have you with me here while I can celebrate that fact of nature. On September 27th, 2012, I created a Tumblr blog called Fuck Yeah Deagles. It was a fan site for the Desert Eagle gun known to some as the Deagle in certain military circles. From that day onward, my life was changed forever in ways that I could have never predicted by vicious trolls and fans alike from every corner of the online, crawling out of the woodworks. And I could never have predicted, okay? I could never have predicted. I didn't know that at that time I'd set off a chain reaction that would end up with me in the situation I am today. I had no idea during the course of my journey I would meet friends from across the world, and I would accidentally become targeted by a sinister international conspiracy. I would become an asset of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. I would avert missile strikes from hitting my hometown, save thousands of lives. I would shoot my dad in The Sims 3. I would send my friend on an overseas counterterrorism mission. In the process of all this, I would permanently injure my left leg, my big toe, my gastrointestinal system, my mental state, and my eternal soul! And all of this sounds like something out of a movie, I know! And I am off my meds, I know! But bear with me here, because this happened! This is the truth of the situation, and the whole truth and nothing but! This is Jace Striker! My life might be a movie, and my life might think like a movie script, but this movie doesn't have a surprise ending, because the good guys win! And I may not be a good guy online, but I will win the online! No matter if my mom's a bitch, and no matter if you're a bitch to you trolls. So know that you cannot cut me down online! Because history is written by the victor's mother, bitch! And guess what? This is history, and I am the victor! Press 1! Okay, that's sick! 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 Woo! Woo! Okay. Press 1 for future! Press 1 for justice! Press 1 to respect me! And do it right now! Because I want you to! And then it's on the online! Reality is what I make it! And I'm making my reality to make you my bitch! Because life's a bitch! But it's my bitch! Woo! Okay, sorry. I do stuff like that sometimes to get myself psyched up for my streams. Before I became the man I am today, I was just your average 21-year-old Walmart cashier. Now I'm coming up on my 24th birthday, which is on October 2nd. I made mistakes, I hurt people, I hurt myself. I made a fool of myself time and time again. But I never gave up. And that's what's important. But choices have consequences. Online, dude. And those consequences are coming. Nobody can stop them, not even me. You can't stop the future, my friends. I would like to read a story, a passage from a video game you may have known of called Assassin's Creed. In the face of all that insists I turn back, I carry on! This is my compromise. That passage was written by Connor Kenway, a Mexican individual of colored skin who has faced many of the racism that I faced as a United States Marine. Okay, this right here, dude. Directed against not the color of my skin, but the color of my soul! My entire life I have been slandered, I have been misunderstood, I have been misrepresented. The worst among this is no doubt it is a cybercriminal mastermind you may know of as Deagle Dad 420. From the start of day one, he has spread lies. He has infested entire communities, from the Queeky forums to K to No-Chan, and has spun them into webs of lies against my online. We will start the story right before I opened Fuck Yeah Deagles. For the sake of simplicity, I will call this the Eye of the Storm era, okay? And this is a title that I made up to give it because it was basically as if I was standing in the middle of a hurricane and didn't even know it. But it was calm all around me, and in my own little world, everything was just perfect. Okay, this is a picture of me back when I was, this is when I was actually driving in my Toyota Corolla. This time it was heavily modified. My DeviantArt account was closed in 2006 by an unfair site rule for reasons I will not discuss on here, because I'm just going to get on a tangent. But other than that, I was just pretty much your everyday gamer dude. I'm not saying Obama calls Deagle Nation to fall apart, but it was just a huge blow to all of us when we needed to stick together. And Bush's legacy is what made me the man I am today. For learning those lessons, I learned the lessons of integrity. I learned the lessons of courage, not being afraid to take a stand. In a lot of ways, I think of myself as George Bush in some ways. I think we are similar, and I take a lot of inspiration from him as a role model. Last 2 or 3 years of high school, before I dropped out, I ran with a group of juggalos, just a local juggalo family basically. So juggalos have these local chapters like the Masons, but they call them families. So we were the Brookfield family, and they were mostly way younger than me, especially the girls, but some were kind of around my age. I actually ended up meeting Tyce at a skate park when me and the rest of the juggalos were out riding. He was skating with his younger brother, right? And back then he was nothing like he is right now. I almost thought he was a nerd when we first met, because he was dressed in this like button-up shirt and like khakis and with like a fancy watch and a bolo tie, and like, so Brandon started shit with him, right? Brandon was a big dude, always has been, tall and buff as hell, you know, built like a brick shit house. Yeah, that's brick shit house humor. Okay, but he went up to Tyce and started talking shit. I remember this first line he used. He came up and he just looked at him and he said, "Hey, bolo tie dude, where'd you get those threads? Baby Gap? You get those at Baby Gap? Cause you look like a baby to me." And now, you know, all of us were laughing, right? And that is until Tyce started laying down verbal ownage like nothing I had ever seen. Now Brandon's tough, right? But he's pretty dumb. So he just sat there like, like that. And then Tyce started like rapping at him really intensely. He was like, "I won't fucking do what you tell me, I don't do what you tell me, you don't do," you know, and he was like rapping at him, and we were like, "Damn, this guy's pretty chill, yo." You know, we actually introduced him to weed. No shit, we introduced him to weed, and like just like a week later, and he loved it. He never even smoked once before that day, but we popped his cherry, yo, with the ganja. It's like, yeah, okay. And we actually used to meet at McDonald's in Spencer because it was like right near where all of us lived. By far, the best time in life happened at that McDonald's. The best times of all. Or in the Walmart just outside where. It was heaven for me, man. It was like a home away from home, that McDonald's. We drive around just like street racing with the weed and Skrillex, and it was sick. You know, it was like, you know, it was awesome, you know, and then we just get high just in time for the munchies, you know, and that was just sick. And then we'd eat some burgers at McD's, we'd shoot this shit, we'd talk about the bitches we'd fucked, you know, we talked about, you know, which girls have herpes, which girls did not fuck, you know, Brandon would fucking go on about football, Colby would talk about Dead Mao, and show us like the latest mixtapes, and I would talk about John Cena, and it was just plain and simple sickness, yo, like, dude, yo, sickness. Best time of my life. I would give anything. I would give anything. Just go back just one more day, you know, but those days are over. I mean, and ever since then, I've just been trying to get that back, you know. Well, you probably don't know them, but Haley and Christina and what the fuck is, I totally forgot her name already, Josie, all of herpes. I was just getting blazed. I was hitting it off with this girl, and so, you know, I'm about to sleep, you know. I'm just in my room. Fucking, I took some shrooms earlier, and they're just starting to kick in, and I'm like, I'm just gonna ride this until like 1 a.m. and then just go to sleep, you know. And all of a sudden, guess who opens the door and comes into my room, okay? And I'm not gonna tell you who it is, because let's just say I don't fucking tell. But let's just say it was a girl who liked what she was seeing. Long story short, I'm not gonna get into the details, but we ended up sharing a bag of shrooms. We stayed up till like fucking 3 in the morning, and I got pussy. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, she was a juggalo. She did not have herpes, for the record. I don't have herpes. I'm clean. How bad do you think his dick smells? Wow, bitch! I clean my dick regularly for your fucking content. Don't disgust my dick! Ugh. This is what I do to your style! You're the Dorito soul, bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you! I made an offshoot of the Juggalo family, which became what is known now as Deagle Nation, okay? But eventually a lot of the crew started getting into their senior year. They started picking up part-time jobs. Colby went off to community college, shit like that. People started doing other things. People started getting jobs. That was the worst part of my life, is when my friends got jobs. When my friends started doing that in society. Because we all drifted away. Okay? It was the worst time of my life. I used to call people on my phone. I would leave like 5-6 messages asking to hang out with people, and they wouldn't return my calls. Or people would be busy, or they would be able to only show up for a little bit. I mean, there was... Back when I was in school, I used to skip school for like 2 days and just play Halo and smoke weed with Tyce. And we couldn't do that anymore, man. And just everything changed. Around this time, Tyce's little brother was hit by a cop car. Okay? Tyce's dad and mom never really got along in general, but this is sort of just the... I don't know, straw that broke the camel's back, I guess. She had a drug habit. She started taking up again. She was clean for a while, but after, you know, his little bro became retarded, she started smoking crack. A lot of people look at Tyce and they just see an asshole, but I look at Tyce and I see a person who was a victim of circumstance. I see a person who didn't really have a choice in becoming what he became. I was on the heavy side back then, around this time period, which is not my fault at all, but I mean, most of it was just muscle hidden behind fatty material. Basically, being fat is like body armor. I was dabbling in some self-taught martial arts at the time. I was doing Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu based on tutorials I found on YouTube. And I would be practicing katas in my backyard. Like, I would do like star block, you know, star block and stuff like that. I used a wide variety of opponents, ranging from cardboard boxes to water bottles and stuff, and basically I would just spend hours in my backyard just smashing stuff with awesome moves. This is when I had my job at Walmart. I was working in the capacity of a cashier associate. I was making ends meet there, while being supported by my mother and living in the house with her. My older brother, Robert, had basically secured the job for me by helping me get an interview set up and everything. One time after work, this is a cool story, we got really fucking wasted and showed up his farm at like 11 at night. We stole his dad's tractor and just rode around the property for like an hour listening to Nickelback. You know, we were just, some say hero will come save us. As we were like running over, we were freewheeling, like knocking over these gay ass little bushes and shit and mailboxes and blasting Nickelback, like it was sick, yo, and we were just fucking faded out of our minds, and that was one of my best blazing memories. Call of Duty. I'm fucking great at it, man. And that's what it clicked. I was good at Call of Duty. I hit 7th Prestige just the other day on fucking Modern Warfare 2, and that's what I told them. I said, I want to join the U.S. Marines, Rob. After all, I mean, John Cena was a U.S. Marine. I mean, he was basically badass as fuck, right? And so I could totally be like him, right? Now, Rob didn't think I could do it. And he just kept trying to get me to do other shit. He said, dude, you have asthma, you can't join. And I was like, dude, fuck off, I could join. And, you know, like, because I was just like, yo, I'll just hide the asthma from them by, like, doing dope cardio all the time. You know, I want it to be just like it was at McDonald's. All Marines are basically a brotherhood, okay? And, like, they're just badass bros who stick together, you know? And chill all the time. And that's exactly what Deagle Nation used to be when we were at McDonald's. So that's all I really wanted, you know, was return to McDonald's. And the Marines, I thought, you know, they'd basically be like McDonald's. And, you know, it's obvious what I had to do, you know, to get it back. And now, when I set my mind to something, a lot of you trolls will know, when I set my mind to something, I really do it. I will get stubborn, and I won't ever give up, just like John Cena, okay? I will never give up. And the first time I went to a shooting range and I held one of these, I knew I made the right choice. I put my finger inside the trigger, you know, looked at it a little bit, felt it in my hands, and I just knew this is the one. This is the choice, okay? The power you feel in your hands when you hold this is unbelievable. But, I mean, the first day I did get a bloody nose. I had to go home because I was like, phew, and the recoil was so strong. It was like, boom, I got a bloody nose. I thought I'd broken my nose for a while, but I didn't, thankfully. But I mean, that wasn't completely alone, okay? Out of all the friends I had, Tyce, he was the one who really stuck around. In the earliest years, he looked up to me, and he was like me a lot, I think, because after the cop car incident, he didn't care about going to school, getting a job, or anything. He just hated the world because it was unfair to him, so he didn't really care about anything anymore. And, I mean, I asked him what he was going to do one day with himself, like, well, you know, man, I'm going to be a Marine, what are you going to do? And he just said, I'm going to do the damn thing. And I was like, you're going to what? You're going to do the damn thing. And that was his plan for life, man. Now this is what I call the K era. And now this is a photo of me when the first photo that surfaced on my Fuck Yeah Deagle's Tumblr account of me holding my signature Semper Fi knife. It was a flood of negative comments that poured through. I had no idea what was happening. And eventually, after a week or so, I did succeed in tracking the infestation of trolling back to the 4chan site called K. All these people saying negative comments, complaining that I got the name of a gun wrong or whatever, saying that I would never make it as a Marine, all this crap. A lot of them, I mean, people tried to find out my real name. People made a fake arrest record for me in the sex offender registry, which they then illegally photoshopped my face onto and sent it to me on the online. I mean, I guess is what they meant when they said growing up was hard. Basically, you could go to a cop station and be like, yo, I want like a police, like, firearm safety course. And it was pretty much free training for the Marines, I thought. So I was like, whatever, let's sign up. I was like, can I just shoot the gun already? And they were like, no, you have to listen to me about troop discipline. And I was like, dude, I came here to shoot the gun. And they just started bitching me out, pretty much. She was like, you need to learn some respect, you know, that kind of bullshit. And what I did was, I actually took out a little post-it note, and I put him down the URL of my Tumblr, and I gave it to him. I was like, listen, man, okay, let me just shoot my stuff, you know, online. I mean, not online, I mean, like, you know, in the range, you know, like that. I basically just, like, grabbed a second gun, and I was like, yeah, we'll try it like this. And then I was like, started shooting, and then they flipped the fuck out. They were like, whoa, 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 put that thing down! Like, one of them, I swear, he had his hand on the gun like he was about to draw it on me. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? Rob got me hooked up with some classes at a community college nearby. I will not mention the name of it. And I was like, well, writing, you know, English 101. And because I wanted to write stories and stuff, this was, you know, just a huge thing I like to do. Shortly after, I wrote the first chapter of my realistic war novel, Tiberius Rising. And the main character was Jack Striker, which was an alias I had used a lot before. It was basically my alter ego of a badass war hero that, I mean, I used to use him in online RPs and FPS games and stuff, like RPs on DeviantArt and stuff and, like, everything. But I'd wanted to write out a novel about Jack Striker for a long time, and this is basically my chance to do it. There's some nice people in there, you know, and even though I flunked out of the English class a little later, the workshop group was still pretty cool and just gave me a lot of help and ideas. Okay, I challenged some of the trolls to matches of Counter-Strike and beat some and lost to others, mostly because they cheated. There's a troll known as Sacred Fox. He was basically, long story short, pathetic, and he was a gross, fat nerd. I mean, around the same time Sacred Fox made his appearance, my oldest enemy of all, Watcham Webb, surfaced. He began his assault in earnest that day. Hi, Watched! Hi, Dan! You're still a faggot! You know. So that basically means I win then. Because he stopped making videos. But he's just still there waiting for me watching in the shadows, dude. This is when I met my oldest ally of all. This was CIA Dude 420. It was clear that he understood what I was trying to do, and he saw that I had potential, and he said so. And it was great to hear that from someone. Basically proved that I was right, you know, online. But and I tried to reform it, and so we could hang out once again. Reform Deagle Nation. I left real life and I went online. The web form, it didn't really work. It crawled along with basically no activity. No one posted ever. But I talked to CI Dude, and I basically said, hey, do you know any way I could fast track my career into the Marines? I mean, you work in that sort of area. And he said, yes, you know, and he would talk to his superiors is what I said. And he ended up giving me a bunch of advice, helpful tips, but he also warned me that these guys from K might be more dangerous than I thought, and than they actually seemed. And I didn't know what he meant at the time, but he's always cryptic, and it got me thinking though. Rob kept trying to get me to make friends in college,
but they were all smart-ass nerds compared to me, man. I mean, there's no jarheads like myself over there, you know, so... During these 3 months, I ended up flunking out of the English 101 course. I got laid off from work, because apparently they said I was not treating customers well, and it was just bullshit. My only real hobby I did back then was street racing, and I didn't tell anyone about this, it's a secret, but at the time I was driving a modded out Toyota Corolla. I had about 140 wheels horsepower, I had a gold finish and a custom bass boosted sound system. I used to go to these like meetups in the local area and street race with the other guys, and it was just a good way to vent out my stress, you know. I had a little too much to drink, let's just say, while street racing. I was going about 70 miles per hour when I tried drifting around a corner, and because I saw people do that in Too Fast, Too Furious, and I ended up swerving and getting sideswiped hard by the other racer. This is what happened as a result of that. You can see my wheel here died. My driver's side rear window, not rear window, the side window was completely torn off by the collision. I was so close, and it was only blind luck that I survived. It seems like I can never really like go all the way to the bottom, you know. I can never hit rock bottom and just keep going. And I don't know if that's because of luck or just because I don't know, because I'm like that or something. I'm just good at surviving that kind of stuff. But ever since then, I've been driving in my mother's red Prius. I'm not able to upgrade the vehicle at all because my mom is unfair to me. So I've had to master the art of street racing in a stock Prius, and while the specs may not be up to speed with some other high-end cars, specs do not equal skill, and skill is something I have a lot of. Now we're getting into the summer of 2013. I just had nothing left to do. I didn't have a job, I didn't have fucking education, I didn't have street racing. I mean, up until now I knew the trolls were organized, but I did not know their motives or their base of operations. All of that changed when CIA Dude explained the situation to me. He explained the reason K was attacking me was because there was an organized conspiracy going on, and I was specifically chosen as a target. Sacred Fox was the last person on K left, which was still actively hunting me. He was just desperately trying to prove that he wasn't wasting his time with me. He was trying to regain his glory as the person he used to be, trying to bring back the old days where he was, you know, the hero of K or whatever. You know, not unlike me, really. We got him to drive halfway across the country because he thought I would meet him in Arkansas. Like, this is retarded. This is how stupid this guy is, just to see if he would do it. Of course, he was such a fucking desperate faggot tryhard. He actually showed up. I wasn't there, but it was hilarious. This is pretty sick. This is me in a vlog I did later in frickin' August. I wrote "fuck yeah CIA" on my knife, okay, because of CIA Dude, like a shout out to him. So I just want to show you guys that picture. But after this incident, CIA Dude hacked into the server bank at Allen Hancock. He managed to install backdoors on K servers. He gave him moderator access on K, and this allowed him to delete any thread about me that sprang up under the pretense of violating rules, meaning K could no longer be used as a troll gathering site against me. And that, my friends, is the taste of victory, because revenge is a dish that is in fact served cold online, okay? This, my friends, is where everything changed forever, okay? Online, dude. This right here is what is known online as the gamer food era. And this is where the final leg of the story begins in earnest. This is the beginning of the third and final chapter for this stream. Okay, let's just say mission accomplished and the asset has been retrieved. You know, okay, it's sick. And I got myself some more iced tea, so. Truly, this was the flipping point of all flipping points, and it was all up to chance. So roll the dice. Because if I had never met my greatest enemy, I would just be a completely different person. I would have probably just made gaming vlogs like Darkside Fail or something, and it all started when I was minding my own business, gaming on Counter-Strike Global Offensive, when I was invited to a stream chat by a group of Arabic and Middle Eastern accented men. Immediately, it became obvious they knew who I was, and they knew way more info than they should. Hello, Jace, you know, that kind of stuff. I asked, what was this about? And they began immediately asking a series of pointed questions at me. Where do you live? What state do you live in? What's your address? Before I could even answer, they began playing some sort of Arabic prayer music called a nasheed, okay? And this is when it got scary. Out of nowhere, I received a Steam message displaying a Google Maps image of a Catholic church in my town with Arabic writing written over it. My breath caught in my throat. I realized I was dealing with real-world legit terrorists. I didn't know it at the time, but these were terrorists working under the name Team Gamer Food. They were a cyber-terrorist trolling cult from a wing of Hamas. It was FUBAR, man. It was a snafu, if I'd ever seen one. So I went to the only man who I knew could help me. CIA Dude 420. He offered me to join him as an asset of the Central Intelligence Agency. He said I would get to go on Black Op missions, and I would have my equipment given to me, and best of all, he would help protect me from the trolls and keep all my activities off the official record. It was either that or join witness protection. Those were the options. I did this so my mom and my brother and everyone else and Tyce could live a normal life while I took the heat. 'Cause I could take it. I did this so I could survive and have some remnant of a normal life and not be in the run and not hide. Because just like Braveheart said, there's a quote in Braveheart that he said, there's 1 against 1,000. And then one guy said, well, I'm going home. I'm not going to fight against those odds. And then Braveheart said, and you might survive this day, but you'll be living for the rest of your life. You're going to be wishing you could trade that back. Trade that back. And go back to the day where you gave up your freedom and became a coward. And relive that day. And know that they may take our lives, but they will never take our freedom. Because I am a gamer. And a gamer wins to the end. A gamer doesn't quit even if the boss beats them time and time again. Even if a gamer has to stay up till 2 in the morning playing it over and over again and living through hell over and over. The gamer will win. Because it's programmed into my genes. It's all I know how to do. I am a gamer warrior. And I will never give up. I told myself I would enlist on September 11th of that year. The anniversary of the September 11th attacks. In order to pay respect to the fallen U.S. Marines who died on 9/11. And this is when I became a Marine in earnest, because CIA Dude had recruited me to basically be a Marine, so it was basically the same thing, you know. So I had PTSD for real, because I was cyberbullied, okay? I filmed myself driving as I drove back home, and I will admit that at the time I was very faded, and I did make some mistakes driving. It was not actually my fault at all, and I did almost hit someone, but that's normal to smoke weed because I was stressed every day, and it's not my fault that I have stress, and it's not a fucking DUI, it's a planned UI. No one would listen because Team Gamer Food called my fucking police department and showed them the video of me getting blazed driving and doing my plant UI over the road, and next thing I know, there's a cop at my door saying I have to take a piss test and my fucking license gets suspended for a DUI. And I can't even street race anymore, man. I ended up showing up in court for it. And this is where I started to hate Tyce's dad. Tyce offered to help for this ridiculous amount of money. And I said no. You know, I'm defending myself, yo. I'm a U.S. Marine. I'll just show them my proof that I'm a Marine. That freaking CIA dude said I'm a Marine. And I'll show them in court. And, you know, they will respect me no matter what. Because they will let me go for that, you know. So I was telling this to Tyce's dad. We had been meeting at my mom's house. And he started to just walk out of the room. I was like, what's your problem, man? Hey, we're talking here. And I was like, why aren't you going to respect me? I'm a Marine. And he just looked at me and he responded. And I will never forget this. He just says, hey, fuck yourself, you spastic! In the greasiest Italian accent you can ever imagine. It was like something out of fucking Sopranos or something. Long story short, guy's an asshole. I give chat logs, I give evidence. I say weed is a plant, it's not illegal. I say, you know, it's not even my fault, and that it was Team Gamer Food who made me do it with PTSD in the first place, and no one fucking listens to me. This fucking court system, they can't respect me. And even though I'm the pinnacle of justice, and even though they can't respect the sacrifices that I fucking went through. He was like, well, listen, I won't let you go to jail. I won't make you pay a fine. I'll just cut off all the charges if it's upgraded to a felony charge and just stays on your record. And I would say, you know, they were basically saying they weren't going to fuck me over if I took the deal. And I was like, well, I knew at the time that, here's the thing, a CIA dude, he said that he would keep my record clean for the Marines. And he didn't say specifically about the felony charge, but I think, like, I could probably just get him to, like, hack in and, like, delete it, right? So, like, I was just like, hell yeah, fucking sign me up. Yeah, do it. I'll do a felony. Yeah, whatever. Pretty much played hardball. I was like, is that really the best deal you're willing to make? I just slammed my fist down. I was like, is that the best deal you're willing to offer to United States Marine? He just stared at me and he was like, yes, that's the best deal I'm willing to make, Mr. Connors. I didn't face many direct consequences immediately after that, except for the fact that, oh, gee, I can't fucking vote or buy a gun anymore because I'm a fucking felon, apparently, and I didn't even fucking tell me that, and I was supposed to know that, like, I was supposed to know that you can't buy a gun, or if you're a felon, and they don't have a gun, have a fucking shitty-ass plastic airsoft gun, because CIA dude can't hack the gov, even though he's supposed to be in the fucking gov, you know, so they fucked me, yo, they fucked me, like, harder than a gay black individual in a prison, yo, that's fucked. That's a snafu, dude. And it's just like, I want to fucking pistol whip that judge. I want to fucking pistol whip his fucking little Jew face. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. Okay. Sorry for that off-color joke. That was, I am Jewish myself, so I can say that. Yeah, I wasn't offensive. It wasn't offensive to me. So that was, I'm sorry, guys. Gamer humor. I talked to Tyce's dad about it later, though, and I was like, dude, I want revengeance for the bullshit you screwed me on, I said, and he was like, and he was such a smug fucking dickhead about it, and he said the same fucking thing. Again, he just said, in the same voice, he was fucking smoking, he just took a cigar out of his mouth, he said, shut up fucking listen, you spastic, or something like that, like in that WAP voice. He was like, hey, shut up fucking listen, you spaz. I can't do a WAP voice, but he was doing a WAP voice. It was nothing, it was a personal 9/11, and nobody could help me. No, and it was one of the most crushing defeats I've ever suffered online, and it didn't get any better. I was shipping out on 11 days, and there was nothing that could stop me from joining the U.S. Marines. I was ready to leave my civilian life behind and start from a blank slate, a new life, a new place, free from all the bullshit of gamer food and everything. I would be overseas in Iraq, just like Stryker. I was driving along, and I was driving back to my house, and I was followed from my car, and I looked, and when I stopped at an intersection, I looked at the man behind me, and he was Middle Eastern. He was Arabic. He was wearing a fucking turban on his head. And I live in Massachusetts. There's no fucking Islams around here. There's none. The only way that there could be an Islam in Massachusetts is if there's a terrorist, like, sent to kill me. I've never seen an Islam, practically. You know, after all, I haven't taken my meds today. Maybe it's just coincidence. I was driving along, just listening to some Nickelback. I would just drive, and you know, I would just go around the corner, and I just kept taking left turns. And after a while, I was certain that he was trying to kill me or follow me home. So what I did is I pulled into a police station, and that's where he passed me by, even though he'd been following me for about 40 minutes on the highway and off. I may have been dead that day. That's just another time I had a brush with death, and I could have easily been dead. And that's how I knew that this was all real, that I wasn't crazy. It wasn't just the meds that I was not taking. It was because this stuff was real. All right, you can't listen. If you're schizo and you go off your meds, you make connections. But, and I know that, but you can't. Like, if there are no connections to be made in the first place, then it's not like you're going to make them out of thin air. All me going off my meds do was let me see the truth of what was really happening. And all the people who are telling me to take my meds, I realize are just trying to shut me the fuck up. Because they know I'm dangerous when I know the truth. And I launched up Arma and faced harassment on the game constantly from in-game trolls, spamming me and such. You know, it was just, I mean, it was a nightmare. Everything I did, they would just attack me more. I was stream sniped, I was spammed, I was fucking, it was ridiculous. But there was nothing compared to the reckoning of fate I was about to face of the final blow. It was like the entire stream they had been charging up their combo attacks, and at the very end, Deagle Dad 420 came in and delivered the combo finisher move that just poof, knocked me out in one hit, and I'm going to tell you what happened. In the middle of the stream, and this is scary, but just know that this happened. I received a Hawaiian pizza from someone on the stream who knew my address and was taunting me. At the time, I mean, I was hungry, so I ended up eating it anyway. I mean, I didn't know what happened. All I knew was I got a pizza. So, and I was hungry because, you know, munchies, you know, I was a bit faded before the stream even started. So I wasn't really thinking, and I just started eating it. But the fact is that these people, Deagle Dad knew where I lived, and he sent a fucking pizza, but it got even worse. It wasn't until Ivan told me, he broke into the chat, and he told me that I had played right into the palm of his gaming by eating such a poisoned delicacy for gamers, which was in fact poisoned by a toxic chemical known as ricin online. And Ivan explained to me, to my horror, that I had been poisoned by a scheme, and that the pizza poisoned. I was poisoned by Ivan. He broke into the chat and told me this. It was ricin from the start of day one, to my horror, that I had been poisoned by the pizza and a toxic chemical. He said that the pizza was hand-delivered to my house by Deagle Dad 420 himself! At the time, I didn't even think about it. But when I asked my mom later, she said the delivery guy wasn't even wearing a pizza delivery uniform. She said he was just some guy in his 20s, and he looked normal. And not even Middle Eastern, she thought nothing of it. But he walked right into my home. And I had been none the wiser. Deagle Dad 420, the mastermind of all the trolls, he walked right into my home. And had he been a suicide bomber, he could have killed me right then and there. He was trying to make me into an Islam, to convert me. He didn't wish for me to die. He had something worse planned. And from the moment that it was known to me, my soul, I flashed back to what Scary Deep said so many weeks ago. You will 9/11! He said! And I didn't know it at the time. But he was trying to brainwash me into an Islamic sleeper agent through this indoctrination of my soul. But it was too late. I had already eaten several slices of the pizza, and I didn't take the threat seriously at the time. But the truth slowly dawned on me. And it dawned in blood, gamers. My blood! And I was so terrified, I was so ashamed. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. I have PTSD. I'm sorry. I have PTSD. Because I like the green, I like to smoke the kush dank. Does it make me a bad person? Do I like to smoke the kush? No, it doesn't make me a bad person. And yes, I'm crying about kush. But it's only because I smoked the dank, it's green. I smoked the green, bitch, and just light up on the blind. I lied. This is because I lighted up the kush and I was like, and I was so terrified. Oh shit! I just like, whoa, that was really weird. I think I just inhaled a bunch of like lighter fluid. I gotta have to tell this to Tyce. He's gonna like learn how to like get high from like lighter fluid. Okay, that taste is really, I can like feel my teeth. Is that supposed to happen? Someone said, you can huff it, but all you feel is oxygen deprivation. Oh, what, you mean like choking? Dude, choking is pretty fun. Me and Tyce have done choking before. I guess you guys are like parents or cops, apparently. I didn't know you guys were parents or cops. What, is butane fucking illegal? Butane's a plant. You can't ban a plant. Plants can't be illegal, bitch. Someone said, how long do you choke Tyce? It actually doesn't take very long for him to pass out, because I'll just go up behind him and like get him from behind, basically. What I'll do is will apply a rear naked choke. I actually use Brock Lesnar's rear naked choke move from MMA, and I'll just choke him out. And the story ended basically when Tyce's dad walked in on us, and we were choking each other out, and we were both on the floor just passed out. And it's usually safe to do the choking like near a padded surface. So Tyce had this mattress, and what we were doing was we were just doing the choke moves on each other, and then the choked person would fall on the mattress, and we'd angle it in such a way that he'd fall on the mattress. Tyce's dad just walked in, he started banging on the door, he opened up, he just peeked his hand, he was like, "The fuck are you doing in there? I didn't raise a fucking faggot!" He just slams the door shut. His dad wouldn't let us out because he was convinced we were like having gay sex or something. And Tyce had to like piss in the corner, and it smelled like Tyce piss. And we had to turn the fan on because we couldn't use the fucking bathroom. And that's why Tyce's dad is a fucking asshole. And that's why I never will go to Tyce's house again. Because I don't want to put up with his homophobic dad misrepresenting the situation, because you can't be gay in the Marines. I smoked a blunt on stream on the Arma 2 live stream, right? And to relax because I was stressed after eating the poison pizza. I was cut off for streaming. I was banned because Scary Deep from Gamer Food reported my stream to freaking Twitch. Now Scary Deep is the leader of gaming food, okay? And he reported it to Twitch, and I got banned for smoking the ganja. For a while, I just said, well, monitor my condition, see if it gets any worse. And lo and behold, I started getting sick. I was approaching my 9/11 enlistment. I realized I couldn't possibly enlist on 9/11, and I made the hardest decision of my life. I checked myself into that poison control center. Not poison control center. I checked myself into the fucking hospital. And I printed out all the chat logs. I showed them the recording of the stream. I said, I'm not leaving until you test me for ricin. They were not very good at their jobs. My symptoms were similar to the symptoms of a common flu, but many poisons start that way and get worse as they go on. I missed my enlistment date. I missed it. I looked through the pizza box, and as if it wasn't already suspicious enough, I find this. If you can't read that, it says Chorus Shriners, and it has an Islamic sword and star symbol meaning jihad, basically the path of the sword, the path of jihad, and it says Douglas B. Sweeney, potentate 2005. I looked into Douglas B. Sweeney. He was not a person of interest, and I pretty much just brought this napkin in and asked a bunch of questions, interrogated a few people. I did end up getting kicked out of their bullshit fucking religious thing they were doing because I started saying that they were, you know, suicide bombers, because there was all this Egyptian and Arabic and like Muslim shit everywhere all over the walls, like these murals of like sand desert shit and like pyramids and everything. And so I basically was like, you people tried to kill me, tell me what this is about, you know. And they because I brought my airsoft gun with me just in case. I went on the way back from the trips, and now my road trip videos, you probably have seen the road trip video series where I'm arguing with my mom in the car. Those are where those fit into the timeline. I went to the Army barracks. It was a real U.S. Marine barracks, okay, for the Army, dude. And I was able to buy shoulder patches there. I made a video called Parkourdude Goes to the Army Barracks. And I made a video there showing that I was able to buy these shoulder patches right here. Genuine material, dude. Okay, U.S. Marines, and this one says SEAL Team 6, okay? And I was able to buy these because I'm a CIA asset. I showed my CIA ID because CIA dude basically sent me this thing and he was like, print this out, keep it in your wallet. If anyone, you know, if you need to prove it, just show them the CIA ID. There's a troll known as Fly Away Now who made his debut in summer, I think. Yeah, it was in summer, if I recall correctly. And he was reviewing my book, Tiberius Rising, and he was doing slanderous reviews. But even before that, he was hating on me. He was calling me a psychopath, saying I was evil, saying that I would kill all the Muslims in the world if I had a chance. Well, I would, but... So what I did was I started what is known as the Trial of Parkourdude91, and this was a live stream that I did where I voluntarily stood trial against a group of internet trolls who were out to harass my lifestyle and take me down, okay? It went nowhere. It was a roundtable discussion, basically, but I was basically proving that I was right for a very long period of time, but they were just not accepting it. But it doesn't matter, because I was right. So I was telling them all I was right. And this is when it looked like I was about to win. It looked like I was about to prove that I was right once and for all. We were going for a while when Tyce started saying, Tyce started reading the stream chat, and he was like, Jace, there's talk in the chat. People are saying that they're driving to your house with RPGs. And I was like, Tyce, what? What's going on? And he was like, they're saying they're outside the house, they're gonna blow it up. And I was like, this is fucked up, dude, we gotta fucking evac. So I sent him out on patrol. I was like, dude, do a sweep of the house. I gave him my Deagle, you know, I gave him my combat axe, gave them all to him, and I said, go do a perimeter sweep of the house. Make sure that we're not being hunted down here. We ended up in the middle of the woods. So it's hell on wheels, bitch, and I was the wheel! Okay, because I had reinvented the wheel, and I was in the woods. And so this is around the time I got lost. I had night vision on, I was running around. I realized they were tracing where we were from our phone call, so I was like, Tyce, we gotta split up. I talked with the deputy director of the CIA on Steam afterwards, and I boarded up all my windows to prevent sniper fire, and we fortified the house into basically a bunker of death, okay? He ended up eating an MRE that I believe that may have been poisoned, and he ended up getting severe constipation, and he had to take a bunch of laxatives. I had to run up to the CVS and get laxatives for him, and he was like shitting his brains out in my bathroom for like 20 minutes. And clearly Ivan, you know, we were just glad we had flushed that out of his system because he was trying to poison him. I was playing Dark Souls, you know, I was gaming, and it was going fine. I got into my mom's liquor. I tried to do freestyle rapping, and I ended up just vomiting on myself and passing out. Tyce was moderating the stream from his home. He was freaking out. He was like, dude, has Jace been poisoned? Because chat was telling him Jace was poisoned, you know. Jace poisoned, Jace poisoned. Tyce didn't know what to do. And Tyce thought that he was going to be next. Trolls convinced Tyce, long story short, to take his cell phone and his weed and then put them into his dad's furnace, put them into his dad's fireplace, and burn them because he thought that he could be tracked from his cell phone by gamer food. His entire house started smelling like weed. I barricaded myself in my house. I hoarded weapons and drugs and food, anything I could find, and I went into a insane binge, taking as many possible. I basically swallowed my entire mom's medical cabinet, and in the process, I turned it on and vlogged it, and I made this. This is an evidence board showing where all the trolls and how they're connected, and this is me. I was only able to make this connection because of the addies. Someone said Jace is an Adderall commander. Dude, that's sick. Press 1. So it went Dark Souls stream, then hater, hit list, then the trial. And then after the trial, my mom returned the next day to find me and Tyce sitting. My house was still a mess from the hater hit list. There's still shit strewn all over the floor. There's Cheez-Its everywhere, candy. I mean, it looked like a fucking war zone, man. It looked like a wild animal or something. Stopped being able to vlog after that for a long time. And I will explain why. Because that's when I shipped off to the Marines. And the Elder Scrolls of history have already been penned. But it is not until a hero does the Elder Scroll. And that is me, okay, online. And that's like a metaphor, yo, for like, Someone said, Jace, do you like Radiohead? That's gay. Someone said, stream from the Prius. I can't steal my mom's car. She is, like, pretty much on lockdown, dude. She always carries the keys with her now. So, oh shit, that's my mom. Fuck it. Okay, I have to go offline. Sorry, shit, I think that's my mom. I'm just gonna pretend I was talking on the phone. Okay, I'm gonna show the video and I'm gonna go offline, okay? I think I just heard my mom in the other room. Okay, I'm gonna show the video and go offline, okay?